Hi there and thanks for clicking on this video, guys. Today we are here to check one more comparison, as if those you have seen before were not enough, of course. Today what are we going to check? What are we going to check now? We are going to check the amazing and upcoming Final Fantasy 15 and another amazing coming out title, which is Watch Dogs 2. So, perfect. Those two games are supposed to be released. In case of Watch Dogs 2, is going to be released the 15th of November. About the other Final Fantasy 15, this other one will be released exactly, I think, the 29th of November. And here you can see, for example, the Omen trailer, which spoilers a little bit what is supposed to be happening in the game. So let's go back to Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 has amazing graphics. For the graphics lover, let's start to talk about this. The action of the game is supposed to be amazing in both the games, but the graphics, as you can see, I think they look almost equal. They look really amazing. But in Final Fantasy 15, they look one step forward. Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 has done an amazing job about the environment illumination, the particular effects, but Final Fantasy 15 has done surely better. Has done surely a little bit better, we have to admit. Final Fantasy 15, therefore, results as a little bit better product. And in this case, it also wins the point for the better graphics. Let's go back to see the Final Fantasy trailer then. As you can see, the dust, everything else looks simply amazing, and the hair of the character, well, they must have done a lot of work on that, for sure. But not only this guys, what else? Let's talk about the optimization of both the games. So Final Fantasy will have for sure better graphics, but this is surely going to interfere with the performance of the game. And as you could see in some of the gameplay they released, the performance of the game was from time to time a little bit choppy. So, not always, of course, because they have done an amazing job of optimization, but still, in some cases there will be frames drop, and this will be basically the main cause that is giving basically Watch Dogs 2 the main point, another point, not the main one, but for the better optimization, which of course they got from having a little bit worse graphics than Final Fantasy. Then let's talk about the upgrade system. As you know, Final Fantasy 15 will be surely better about it, because you will be able to learn different type of magics and upgrading the things you like the most, as a typical GDR is supposed to give you. Watch Dogs 2 will feature the same thing, but as we know, the GDRs usually focus a lot in the perks and in the upgrades of the game. And in this case, Final Fantasy 1 missed the point. And in this case, Final Fantasy 15 wins it. Let's talk about the single main campaign. The single main campaign is about the plot, how intriguing it will be, and how well constructed it is. They surely are both well constructed, because being two open world games, in both of those ones, they surely put a lot of efforts in building an intriguing story. But as we know, the Final Fantasy 15 one, since the introduction of the plot we have seen, well guys, it seems definitely amazing. This is going to be like watching a Nolan's movie, so definitely go for Final Fantasy 15 if you are a plot type. But not only for this, let's talk about something positive about Watch Dogs 2, because that one too will be an amazing game. Well, a little bit of, let's call it, variety, because Final Fantasy 15 will have variety, of course. But after all, it will always be a GDR, so it can't count too much on variety. There will be basically the kind of races on the top of those dodos, and there will be basically some more activities like driving the car and fishing, possibly. But these are like fantastic example for a GDR like Final Fantasy 15. An action GDR in this case, and surely it will be like the best GDR ever in terms of variety. But Watch Dogs 2 will have a lot more variety in it. You will have to drive different vehicles, the missions should be a little bit more varied, because one of the weak points of Final Fantasy 15 is also the variety of the mission, which is supposed to be a little bit poor. So the only bad thing they said about Final Fantasy 15, those who had the pleasure to try it, were that all the main missions were okay, but they were expecting to be a little bit more varied, a little bit more intriguing, basically. They still will be fantastic, but nothing to be comparable to Watch Dogs 2, which will offer a lot more variety exactly from the main missions. Another point to Watch Dogs 2 goes also for the multiplayer part of the game, because a lot of people nowadays consider this part of every game really important, and in this case does not make any difference. So the points goes to Watch Dogs 2. And unfortunately, Final Fantasy 15 is not supposed to have a multiplayer part, but the developer said that if it will be required by the users, they will start to add some co-op, which is already more than enough. So in case you want to see the co-op in Final Fantasy 15, just make sure to leave a tweet to Square Enix, and they will make sure to add a little bit, to start to think at least at this feature. And well, at this point we are in a complete draw. We are in a complete draw. So what is the point that is going to give you a little bit more of a choice, a little bit more of a reason in what do you need to buy? Well, in this case, guys, believe me, go for Final Fantasy 15. They have been working on this game for 10 years. They have been developing the story, the plot for 10 years. So basically every point that was for Final Fantasy 15 in this case is going to be doubled. Let's talk about, for example, adding a new one, the variety of the enemies. Watch Dogs 2 has done a lot. They have introduced the armored enemies and so on, but no. In Final Fantasy 15, as a good GDR is supposed to give you, you will have a massive variety of enemies. You won't always be shooting at the same guys. You will have fantastic bosses. You will have evocations. There are tons more reason to choose Final Fantasy 15. There will be titans as well. There will be quick time events like in the best God of War. So for the God of War's lovers as well, this is absolutely the thing you need to go to. They have put perfection and details in every single feature they added to Final Fantasy 15. So definitely go for a product which costed Square Enix a fortune, a literal fortune. You want to give another point to Final Fantasy 15? To speak the truth, we also have to take in consideration the soundtrack. There will be a lot more original songs in Final Fantasy after all there in Watch Dogs 2. Of course, the library of Watch Dogs 2 will be unbelievable as well. But the soundtrack is always done by the same composer of Kingdom Hearts in Final Fantasy 15, I mean, and therefore will give us something simple, splendid. And then it will contain some special pieces from Flores plus the Machine, like Stand By Me, the cover they did of the Benny E. King. In this case, guys, this game is supposed to be absolutely poetry, so you cannot miss this. Look at all the details they just put into the game. So in case you are unsecure about which game you should have picked, now you got the answer. Final Fantasy 15 is the best game of November you can possibly wish for. And what I think is that it will possibly be also one of the best, if not the best game of the 2016. So yeah, no more Witcher 3. Now is Final Fantasy 15's time. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed with my opinion. In case you do or in case you don't, please let me know why in the comments below, and let me know which other comparison you would like to see in this channel. For the meantime, this was everything, and I'll surely see you later on or tomorrow for some more comparison in case you want to see more of them, or for some more news about what's going on in the gaming industry. Thanks a lot for staying with me then. Cheers.